We're in Peterborough, we're in the middle of a field, surrounded by machinery, and wearing more layers than an onion. Welcome to Lamma 2016. Now, one of the biggest draws of Lamma has got to be the extensive lineup of tractors, many of which were rolled out throughout 2015. But Lamma this year represents a coming together of all those brand new tractor series and developments. So come with me as we take a look around and see what we can find. Kicking off with the Fendt 1000 series and what has got to be one of the biggest crowd pullers at the event. 4 models make up the range, ranging from 380 horsepower max rated right up to 500 horsepower, which this 1050 model is behind us. It's not just a beefed up version of the Fendt 900 series, there's been a lot of engineering expertise gone into this tractor. In particular is the powertrain, which in this case Fendt have adopted a low revving approach. The max engine rated speed is a lowly 1750 RPM, but it knocks out a whopping 2,400 Newton meters of torque. Transmission wise as well, it also differs from what has gone before ever in the Fendt range. Now, like the 900 series, it has 1 hydrostatic pump and 2 hydrostatic motors, but in this case one of those motors drives the front axle and one of those motors drives the rear axle. Essentially it's all down to efficiency. You don't get any transmission bind up, therefore you get less wear and tear, saves fuel, and so on and so forth. Availability of the tractor, we're looking towards the back end of this year, and prices are to be confirmed. Up next on our tractor hit list, we've got the Massey Ferguson 4700 series, aka the Global Tractor series. Why is it called Global Tractor? Well, Massey Ferguson is intending this tractor to be built and sold throughout the world in markets like South America, Africa, Asia, as well as complementing high-spec tractors in Western European markets and North America. Power ratings range from 60 horsepower right up to 130 horsepower. And transmission wise, it gets a 12x12 gearbox with or without synchro mesh. Cab options include, well, you can either have a cab or no cab with a rollover protection frame, and as standard equipment you also get electronic linkage control. Continuing on the AGCO stand, we come across Finnish tractor maker Valtra. Last year it launched its brand new 4th generation T Series tractor range, and this year it's back in a similar vein with its smaller 4-cylinder N4 series range. 6 models make up the range, from 105 horsepower right up to 185 horsepower when fully boosted. So a bit of a pocket rocket. As before, the N series is available in 4 specification levels, starting with the entry-level high-tech specification with 30x30 transmission and predominantly mechanical controls, through to active and Versu specification levels, topping out with the direct specification level with continuously variable transmission and predominantly electronic control. Focusing on the rear, Valtra have tidied things up a little bit and made life a little bit more easier for the operator. In particular, they've moved all the spools to one side rather than the legs akimbo formation that they had before, and rear linkage geometry now lifts in a lot straighter motion. Availability wise, the N series is available now starting from 66 grand. Now, Lamma's not all about your big wild tractors. There's plenty of other smaller tractors, something for everybody, maybe a smaller livestock farmer, etc. Here we've got Branson tractors, brought into the UK by the Compact Tractor Centre. It's sole distributor in the UK. Branson Tractors is made by a South Korean firm, Cookjay. It's already well established in North America and Germany, and CCC hopes to replicate that here in the UK and Ireland. Of interest on the stand is this K Series, which is 2 models, 65 horsepower and 74 horsepower. But if that's not enough and you've got a little bit of patience, the firm is hoping to bring in more models above 100 horsepower later on this year, perhaps after September. If you're interested, the K Series is available to order now, starting from £25,000 plus VAT. Representing more than just a return to the 6-cylinder tractor market, Zetterberg hopes the reintroduction of its Crystal tractor range will open it up to brand new markets such as the arable sector in the UK. Based on the rear end of the Forterra HD and the cab of the Forterra HSX, the Crystal comes in two models. We've got the 150 and the 160 with horsepowers of the same model numbering. Now it's the front end where the Crystal differs mostly from its Forterra stablemates. Up front we've got a 6.1 litre Deutz AG engine, same engine as used in Fendt 700 series and Deutz 6 series, so it comes from good pedigree stock. In keeping with Zetter tradition, they have got load bearing braces down either side of the engine. May sound a little excessive, but what that does give you is increased torque loading on the front of the engine, and it can transmit more stresses and strains from front to rear. Available now, the Zetterberg Crystal retails from about £79,000. Now a roundup of tractors at Lamma wouldn't be complete without the new contender from John Deere. Launched last year, it is essentially, let's make no bones about it, it's a rival to Case IH's Podtrac. 4 models make up the series, topping out at 620 horsepower rated. Power for the top model comes courtesy of a 15 litre Cummins engine. It uses a single variable geometry turbo designed in such a way that it keeps up engine response and also keeps up the high torque load, low down revs. Obviously a key development for the 9RX is the track units developed by Camoplast. Unlike its other competitor, it only uses 2 mid rollers, whereas the other one has a third one. What this does, Deere says, it eliminates vertical shock loadings in the middle as it's driving over bumps and contours of the field. Transmission wise, the 9RX's 18 speed full power shift transmission can be operated in one of 3 modes, either manual, custom or automatic, and in the 2 latter modes the tractor's efficiency manager regulates the gear selection and engine RPM based on the target speed inputted by the operator. The tractor is available now to order, and the 620 base price starts from about £380,000. Right, you now join us on GPM Agriculture's stand. As many of you may know, they are the sole UK importer of versatile machinery and tractors and combines they're doing now as well. Following on from its introduction of the Delta tracked 4-track tractor a few years ago into the UK, they're now following it up with conventional tractors. 3 models are available at the moment, starting with this 260 here. You can also get a 290 and a 310. The model number also relates to rated horsepower, and in the future the firm also hopes to bring a 340 and a 360 in. Like its bigger track brother, the smaller versatile conventional tractors also get Cummins engines, which we all know and love. In this case it's a 9 litre block, and that's married to an 18 speed full power shift transmission. Cab wise, it shares the same control logic as the larger Delta track machine. It's also got a similar cab frame, so I expect similar amount of cab space and layout in there as well. If you want to have a bash on one, it is currently doing the demo rounds around the UK at the moment, and expect an on-farm price roughly of about £80,000 for the 260 model. Now, one of the most interesting launches of 2015 came from Case IH with its brand new Optum tractor series. Essentially the firm identified a gap in its portfolio, namely between its Pumas and its Magnums, of which it is now satisfied with 2 models, the Optum 270 and the Optum 300. Getting all that power down to the ground, Case has equipped the 2 Optum tractors with its own CVX continuously variable transmission, and up front, for a bit of driver comfort, it also gets the Magnum's front axle and saddle suspension. If you fancy this tractor, it's available now to order, and it's retailing from about £194,000. You join us now on the new Holland stand, and it looks like the manufacturer has been busy, certainly with this new tractor here behind me. It is essentially an extension to its T7 range with 2 new heavier duty models, the T7 290 and the T7 315. As the model number suggests, maximum power for the 315 is 313 horsepower. The idea behind the introduction of the 2 new models is essentially to address a gap in the firm's range between its T7 tractors and its heavier load lugging T8 tractors, with the HD behind me designed more as a versatile all-round high power to weight ratio tractor. Both T7HDs get the firm's auto command continuously variable transmission, and underneath it's very swanky new styling, here sporting its blue power paint job. It also gets revised electronics. In particular, it includes a brand new headland management control designed to make life much easier. Interestingly, out of all the tractors we've had a look at, this one is the only one built in Britain. Currently offering tractors from 200 horsepower to about 260 horsepower in its Axion 800 range. Class has extended that range with an extra model, the Axion 870, taking the series up to 295 horsepower. With the Axion 870, the manufacturer fills a gap in between its Axion 800s and its 900 series machines. For all intents and purposes, the 870 is exactly the same as the 850, albeit with a bit more power. This newfound power is essentially courtesy of a bit of an engine remap, but to protect its ZF continuously variable transmission, for load lugging work such as heavy draft work, the engine gets derated by about 15 horsepower. So for transport work and PTO work, it gets maximum power of 295 horsepower. Available now, the Axion 870 retails for about £179,000. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our little whistle-stop tour of all the latest tractor launches and developments here at Lamma. For the full report and roundup of all the machines you've just seen, head on over to fginsight.com.